He created the software that protects your computer. Then he was running from murder charges in a jungle compound, high on bath salts, surrounded by guns and 17-year-old girls. This is the unbelievable true story of John McAfee. In June 2021, a 75-year-old man was found dead in a Spanish prison cell, hanging, alone. The official ruling? Suicide. But here's where it gets weird. Years earlier, this same man had tweeted, "If I hang myself, like Epstein was, will be no fault of mine." He had a tattoo on his arm that said $whack D, literally predicting his own assassination. And the internet exploded. Because this wasn't just anyone. This was John McAfee, tech pioneer, millionaire, fugitive, and possibly the most paranoid man who ever lived. But here's the thing, maybe he had every reason to be. Because the last decade of his life reads like a script that Hollywood would reject for being too unbelievable. Drug labs, murder allegations, international manhunts, prison breaks, and a man who went from Silicon Valley royalty to living in a concrete compound in Belize, surrounded by weapons, convinced the world was out to get him. So how did we get here? How does someone go from creating a billion-dollar empire to dying alone in a foreign prison? Let's go back to the beginning. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more captivating crime and history stories.
How are we controlled by the power structure that exists today? We are working for corporations, getting great salaries. We have houses and cars. We have everything that we want. But are you free? Are you free to quit right now, today, to call your boss and say, "I quit, not coming back," and your life won't change? No, your life will
John
change.
McAfee was born in
In ways that you do.
1945 on a U.S. Army base in England. His father was an American soldier, an alcoholic, abusive. When John was 15, his father shot himself. That trauma would haunt McAfee for the rest of his life. He'd later say it made him fearless. Because what's scarier than watching your own father pull the trigger? But young John was brilliant, gifted. He got a degree in mathematics, and by the 1980s, he was working at NASA, then Xerox, then Lockheed. And that's where he saw it. The future, the threat. In 1986, the first computer virus hit, the brain virus from Pakistan. It was relatively harmless, but McAfee saw what others didn't. This was just the beginning. Soon viruses would cripple businesses, steal data, destroy lives. So in 1987, from a house in California, John McAfee founded McAfee Associates. He created the first commercial antivirus software. And he didn't just sell it, he gave it away for free. Shareware, revolutionary for its time. People downloaded it by the millions. And when they wanted the full version, they paid. The timing was perfect. The internet was exploding. Businesses were getting online, and everyone needed protection. McAfee became the name in cybersecurity, the name. By the early 1990s, his company was worth hundreds of millions. In 1992, McAfee Associates went public. John McAfee's personal fortune? Over $100 million. He was on magazine covers, interviewed on TV, a tech visionary, the man who saved the internet. He had everything: money, fame, respect. And that's exactly when it all started to unravel. Here's something most people don't know. John McAfee left his own company in 1994, just walked away, cashed out with tens of millions and said, "I'm done." Why? He'd later claimed the corporate life was suffocating him, that board meetings and stockholders were in prison, that he wanted freedom. So he took his fortune and went wild. He got into extreme sports, aerotrekking, ultralight aircraft. He had multiple planes, flew like a maniac, and according to him, crashed more times than he could count. He said he'd broken nearly every bone in his body. He invested in everything: real estate, tech startups, yoga studios. At one point, he was spending money faster than he was making it. Then came 2008, the financial crisis. His investments tanked. His fortune, once estimated at $100 million, dropped to around $4 million. Still rich by most standards, but for McAfee, it was a devastating fall. He was broke by his own definition, humiliated, depressed. And that's when he made the decision that would change everything. In 2008, John McAfee moved to Belize, a small Central American country, beautiful beaches, lax laws, and crucially, a place where he could disappear. He bought property on the island of Ambergris Caye. At first, it seemed like a tropical retirement, a fresh start, but John McAfee wasn't interested in peace. He was interested in control, freedom, and power. What happened next is where the story goes from eccentric billionaire to full-blown madness. McAfee built a compound, not a house, a compound, surrounded by walls, guard dogs, security cameras everywhere. He hired armed guards, local men loyal only to him. And then there were the women, lots of them. Young women, teenagers. McAfee, now in his 60s, surrounded himself with girls in their teens and early 20s. He'd later claim they were employees, girlfriends, research assistants. The reality was far more disturbing. It kept getting darker. McAfee became obsessed with drugs, not just using them, making them. He claimed he was researching a new class of antibiotics derived from jungle plants. He set up a lab, hired chemists, but people who visited said it looked more like a meth lab than a research facility. McAfee himself admitted in interviews that he was experimenting with MDPV, a synthetic drug known as bath salts, highly addictive, causes paranoia, hallucinations, and violent behavior. And McAfee was using it a lot. His behavior became erratic, paranoid. He believed the Belizean government was after him. The cartels wanted him dead, that his neighbors were plotting against him. One of those neighbors was Gregory Fall, an American expat, older guy, retired, quiet. They did not get along. Fall complained about McAfee's dogs, said they were aggressive, dangerous, that they attacked people. In November 2012, 4 of McAfee's dogs were poisoned, killed. McAfee was enraged. He publicly blamed Fall. Then on November 10, 2012, Gregory Fall was found dead in his home, shot in the head, execution style. The Belizean police immediately wanted to question John McAfee. Just question him. He wasn't officially a suspect yet, but McAfee panicked. He ran. What happened next was absolutely surreal. McAfee went into hiding, but instead of laying low, he did the exact opposite. He started a blog, posted updates, did interviews with journalists while on the run from police. He claimed he was being framed, that the Belizean government was corrupt, that gangs were trying to kill him, that if he turned himself in, he'd be murdered in custody. He hired a film crew to document his escape. Yes, you read that right. He was a fugitive wanted for questioning in a murder, and he had cameras following him. Vice magazine sent a reporter, Rocco Castoro, to interview him. McAfee agreed, but only if they met in secret locations in the jungle. The interviews were bizarre. McAfee appeared gaunt, paranoid, sweating. He was clearly on something. And then Vice made a critical mistake. They posted a photo of McAfee, just a simple photo from the interview. But embedded in that photo, metadata, GPS coordinates. The Belizean police tracked him down within hours, but McAfee escaped again. He fled across the border to Guatemala, tried to claim asylum, but Guatemala wasn't interested in harboring a murder suspect, so McAfee faked a heart attack, literally clutched his chest, collapsed, and got himself hospitalized, buying time for his lawyers. It didn't work. In December 2012, Guatemala deported him, but not to Belize, to the United States. He was free. Technically, no charges, no extradition, just free to go home. And for a brief moment, it seemed like maybe, just maybe, John McAfee would disappear, fade away, live a quiet life. But that's not who John McAfee was. Back in the US, McAfee should have laid low. Instead, he doubled down on chaos. He ran for president, twice. First as a libertarian in 2016, then as an independent in 2020. His platform? Cryptocurrency, decentralization, and abolishing the IRS. Speaking of crypto, McAfee became obsessed with it. He promoted dozens of cryptocurrencies on Twitter, pump and dump schemes according to prosecutors. He'd hype a coin, the price would skyrocket, and he'd sell. Over and over, he claimed he made millions. But he also stopped paying taxes. Completely. He bragged about it. Publicly on Twitter. "I have not paid taxes for 8 years," he tweeted. "I made no secret of it."
Tax evasion. It is true. I have not paid taxes in 8 years. I have not
The
filed taxes in
IRS
8
did
years.
not find this funny. In 2019, the U.S. government indicted him for tax evasion. Millions of dollars in unpaid taxes. Then in 2020, they added more charges. Fraud and money laundering related to his cryptocurrency schemes. McAfee was in Spain when the indictment came down. He was arrested at the Barcelona airport in October 2020. The U.S. wanted him extradited, and this time, there was no escape. He spent 8 months in a Spanish prison, fighting extradition. He posted from jail, through his wife, his lawyers, anyone who would help. He claimed it was political persecution, that the U.S. government wanted him silenced. And there is a footage of him saying, "If I am extracted, it is certain that I will spend the rest of my life in prison because the United States want to use me as an example." And then he posted that tattoo, $WHACKD, with a warning, "If I die in here, I didn't kill myself." On June 23, 2021, a Spanish court approved his extradition to the U.S. Hours later, John McAfee was found dead in his cell. The official cause of death? Suicide by hanging. But almost immediately, conspiracy theories exploded. McAfee's wife didn't believe it. His lawyers didn't believe it. Thousands of people online didn't believe it. Why? Because John McAfee had spent years saying he'd never kill himself, that he wasn't suicidal, that powerful people wanted him dead, and maybe he was just paranoid. Maybe decades of drug use and isolation had destroyed his grip on reality. Or maybe he was right. We'll probably never know the truth, because that was John McAfee's legacy. A life so bizarre, so extreme, that even his death is shrouded in mystery. He went from a brilliant programmer who protected millions of computers to a fugitive living in a jungle compound, wanted for murder. He made hundreds of millions, lost it all, ran from the law, and died alone in a foreign prison. Some called him a genius, others called him a monster, but everyone agreed on one thing. John McAfee lived life on his own terms, and whether that was admirable or insane depends entirely on who you ask. One thing's for sure, we'll never see another story like this again. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more captivating crime and history stories.